Good afternoon. Good afternoon in sunny California, which it doesn't feel like it's winter. Not at all. It doesn't feel like it's even winter here. What is it? It's 80 degrees out here and it's 4 p.m. So again, we've got that unfair advantage that it's not even, it's not winter. It's not winter out here in Southern California, whereas I think talked about last week, it's already winter in some of your guys' parts of the country, right? Hey, so I just got out of a couple of appointments and now I'm heading out to another commitment I have, right? One of them, well, it's actually two commitments. One of them is I got to go vote. I still haven't voted. So I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to take my mommy with me. She's, I think she's going to be 86, right? So we're going to take the little lady out to go vote as well, and then I've got a, commitment with some other stuff I'm doing. But hey, you know what? I've been thinking about this. Okay, so you guys are going to get random thoughts today. I've been up to a lot of cool stuff. And I'm kind of, I guess you could say, kind of like a thinker, like a introvert, extrovert maybe, right? Or an extrovert, introvert, I don't know, whatever one, right? So I always have like stuff boiling in my head, and you know what? It's kind of funny. You guys know I've got a business coach, right? And you guys know that I've got somebody that trains this hot body of mine in the mornings. Right? So with both of them, it's just been really interesting to me as I'm trained and coached by both of them, right? And I'm at a stoplight, so I could say hi really quick. Jessica, congratulations on your baby shower. Roberta, and I've got somebody else up there. We're driving, so we can't look anymore. So we're gonna send my brother, so we will call brother back in a little bit. Okay, him and I usually talk, oh gosh, I think we talk about every day, right? I've got a lot of awesome, cool, hot looking brothers that love me, so hopefully he's not the one in the back that I just sent him to voicemail. So hey, so again, as I hang out with these different, mentors in my life, whether it be my fitness instructor or my business coach, or, a couple other mentors that I have, right? With my business coach and my trainer, lately, it's, it's the small, it's the small adjustments, that make a big difference. Hopefully it's not my brother saying, hey, why are you sending me to voicemail? Because I saw a truck behind me and it looked like him. So you know what? It's the small adjustments that make a huge, huge difference. Like for instance, this morning I met with my trainer, right? And it's always funny to me because let's say, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm going to give you like a fitness tip. Okay, so when I'm doing, actually, it doesn't really matter, but I'll give you a fitness tip. When you're doing, let's say, for instance, when you're doing sit-ups, okay, when you're doing sit-ups, and you're doing, like, let's say, leg raises, okay, so when you're doing sit-ups, you got to do, Rick, you're a fitness buff, too, so when you're doing sit-ups, and let's say you're doing the leg raises, the tip of your feet have to be kind of pointed inward, right? So they have to be pointed inward, okay? And I didn't know that, but you know what? After I do them, I totally feel the difference. So, sometimes, it's like we get in there because, I didn't know this. So your toes have to be pointed inward. If you're doing anything with your toes, with your legs raised up, it has to be pointed inward. Okay, so my trainer taught me that, right? And I didn't know why. So when you do different things like that, for instance, it's like you feel the sit-ups a lot more when you just, again, it's the small adjustments that make a difference. And also, we're going to talk, a couple, just things on like fitness. The other one, or not even fitness, just working out. Okay, the other one, I don't know if you guys know this, I've just really gotten into doing this, right? I've just gotten really into, just to working out. I just feel great. Honestly, I feel right now, I feel like I am in one of the best places in my life, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, just everything. And I attribute that, to a lot of the working out that I've been doing. So when you're working out, let's say if you're like today, I did squats, right? In any other exercise that you do, your core, which is, like this half right here, your body, that's your core, right? For instance, when I was doing squats, she always says, hey, make sure that your core is really, really tight, okay? And when you, again, your core is this right here, your mid kind of section of your body, in, like the back section. So when your core is really tight, it makes a difference, in terms of you being able to manhandle the weights better, and more than anything, that you don't hurt yourself. So the funny thing to me is that, just like my business coach, when she sees that I'm not doing something, like to form or doing it properly, she always says, hey, remember, toes up, those are the money makers, right? Or like, for instance, if I'm doing like the squats and she notices, that my form is off, she'll always say, hey, keep your core tight, right? And the other one is, when I'm doing like anything with, let's say, dumbbells, the same thing, your core has to be tight. And when she notices that my form is off, she'll say, hey, make this adjustment because of this, right? And once I make those adjustments, literally, like when I'm doing it the way I feel comfortable, I don't feel a stinking thing. But then when I do them the way she asked me to do them, yeah, Mio, you know what? It's like, honestly, Mio, I'm just like really, really loving just getting my head wrapped around, a hobby for me. It was like I used to do it a ton, and then I just fell off the wagon. But yeah, you know what? I'm just like so in love with just working out again. It's just helping me a lot. But whenever I do it the right way, I always feel the difference immediately, right? When you do things the right way, you always feel the difference. And she can always tell when, when I'm off, right? When my form is off, when just like I'm not, when I don't have the proper, like the proper form really. And as soon as I do what she says, I feel the difference right away. Like usually feel like, it's kind of funny because she, in between workouts, in between sets and stuff, we'll talk about just random stuff. And I said, oh my God, your handiwork kicked in yesterday, or a couple of days ago. Like I did squats last week, right? Whatever day it was. Usually it takes a day for it to really, really just hit me, right? So like today I did legs. So today I feel good. Tomorrow I'll start feeling her handiwork. And that's usually the way it always happens. Last week, guys, I could barely even get out of my car. It was just like some heavy duty stuff. And again, it's always those small adjustments that always make the difference, right? And it's been kind of cool just to really just see, what she tells me, and it makes a difference. So I was telling her, I'm like, dude, your handiwork just like totally kicked in on the legs. And I never thought about it, but she says, well, that's my specialty. I never really thought about a fitness trainer having a specialty or anything of that nature, right? But she's like, you look at her legs and you're like, oh my God, right? Just like a beast. She competes also, so she's in very, very good shape, right? But also with my business coach, right? With my business coach, the same thing. When I'm not doing like, and it's funny because it's like, Tyler, and you know this, when you coach with her, it's like if you show up and there's something and you already know you didn't do like something you should have done, or just within minutes of just like talking to her, even not minutes, let's say a minute of talking to her, she'll know right away, okay, this is my business coach. she'll know right away that you didn't do something properly. Okay, she'll know that you didn't execute on something that you guys talked about. Okay, right away. And she knows this, you know, by the few minutes of conversation with her, and, you know, by your engagement with her. She'll know, like, right away if your energy's off, if, oh, awesome, Danny, you started with your trainer. If your energy's off, if your headspace is kind of funky. So she'll know this right away about me. So right away she'll ask me, if she feels that I'm not centered, because I do a lot of meditating. If she feels that I'm not centered, she can tell right away. So she'll ask me, have you been meditating? And you know what, honestly, like, if I'm just like going crazy, and let's say, you know, like Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, those are my training days. Those are really, really crazy hectic for me, so I have to go on overdrive to do my morning routine, right? But if, like, let's say for whatever reason I kind of got off, like for me in the morning, I have to be kind of like very dialed in terms of what I'm doing. So let's say if I was off with, you know, I fought with my pillow maybe for like a 5-10 minutes, I lose those 10 minutes in my morning, and something's got to give, right? And sometimes, you know, and it's not often, but when it does, it's because I didn't meditate. So she'll be able to tell if I'm not doing what makes me successful during the day. So again, you know what? It's the small adjustments. It's the small adjustments that, you know, I find make a difference. And, you know, and again, it's the small things that you do that compound. Okay, and, you know, and you guys right now, you're getting potpourri, just a mixture of stuff, right? So again, you guys know that I'm like super just like committed and passionate about just like my personal health, my vitality. It's something that I'm super committed to. So you hear me talk about that more, right? So think about it this way. Like for me, I started back in February, right? So I, you know, been thinking about, well, I won't even lie to you guys, I hadn't really been thinking about doing any of that, to be really honest. But finally, I, you know, just for different reasons, you know, which I've talked about, I decided that I needed to really just jump on it and get on my game. Hey, Juan. Hey, Chayo. Ollie and Melinda, my friends. I decided that I really just needed to, you know, to really just kind of honestly get my shit together. I'll be that blunt. I just was, you know, packing some serious body heat, and I wasn't feeling good about myself. So I finally committed to it, right? So, which brings me to this. It's one of those, you know, regardless if you do it or you don't do it, whatever it may be, it's not even just, you know, what I'm doing right now, right? My fitness. And this is just for all of us. And you guys know this. Whether you do it or you don't do it, it doesn't matter what it is. Time is still going to pass you by, right? Time is still going to pass us by. So for me, it's been, I think it's like 9 months, right? That I've been completely committed to this. I don't miss any of my workouts, right? If I'm going out of town for business or something, I make sure that we adjust my, you know, like my schedule when I'm going to meet with her and train. You know, again, I train with her at 5 in the morning, and I always say, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. Like this morning was kind of rough. I hit a little bit more traffic. I try to leave my house right at like 4:30, right? Because if I let's say if I leave 10 minutes later, man, the traffic kills me. So this morning, you know, it's like I fought with my pillow for about like 10 minutes before I actually won, right? So it's like bottom line, it's like whatever it is that you want to accomplish, whether it be, I don't know, maybe you want to, you know, get on a fitness thing, or whether, you know, you're trying to sharpen up a skill, right? Whether you're, you know, you need to talk to a loved one and you guys have disconnected. You know, all of those, it's like literally, it's the small adjustments. It just comes back to the same thing. It's like whether, you know, let's say if you're thinking that, hey, you know what, I need to talk to my cousin. We've just kind of been on the outs for a while. But for many reasons, you say, hey, you know what, I think I want to wait. And then, you know, it's like then, you know, you're thinking that you want to wait, and you wait 3 months. It's like all that time passed you by, right? Or whether you want to get into the gym, You know, regardless if you do it now or later, it's, you know, the cost is your time, right? And one of the things that honestly I've really, I don't know, I really appreciate my time a lot more. I truly just appreciate my time a lot more. I appreciate it in a different way, right? I think I've made friends with time, right? I really work on maximizing my time, on just doing what I have to do for me, right? And that's the reason I share different stuff, because, you know, it's just kind of interesting to me. I get a lot of private messages, you know, people don't want to necessarily talk, you know, like, you know, you gotta go send me like some cool messages here, like, you know, engage with me a little. But sometimes people, I find that, you know, I don't know, it's kind of interesting to me, because I think that you guys feel that I'm very, because I do a lot of Facebook Lives, right? You feel that I'm very approachable, I think. I think that's probably it, right? So you guys will send me, you know, private messages, asking me about this, that, or the other. And I always say, you know what, I'm not an expert, I'm being taught. Really, everything that you guys hear from me, I've like literally, somebody's teaching me this. Okay, and I like to share it with you guys, because I feel that I've got some excellent resources, right? Like my business coach, she's helped me really get my mindset straight. You know, and seriously, it's like, I've been in real estate, what is it, like 12 years, I think? And I'm going to be so just like candid and honest with you. I came from an office where it didn't, you know, it wasn't like one of those offices that teaches you a whole lot. It was just like, okay, just go grind it out, go sell some homes. And it wasn't really any training in between there. It was like whatever training was there was extremely basic, like really super basic. So I'm pretty much self-taught. Okay, I'm really self-taught. You know, it's like I got into real estate, the market crashed, and I was like, holy crap, I need to pay bills, right? So it's one of those where, like, for me, you know, I feel that I've got a lot of like awesome people in my corner teaching me. And I'm very, you know, one of the things about me is that I'm very teachable. I'm very coachable. You know, I'm not that person that's going to say, well, no, you know what, it's like, it sounds good, but because I have a lot of pride, I'm not really going to listen to you. Nope, that's not me. It's, if it sounds good, I want to learn it. It doesn't matter who I learn it from, right? So, you know, fast forward into what I'm doing now, you know, everything I'm learning, I'm being taught. You know, a lot of it is, you know, from my business coach. She's really taught me so much. And the biggest thing, guys, if you can learn anything from me, and I can, you know, impart, you know, just this with you guys, get your head straight. Okay? But seriously, just get your head straight. Whatever minutia you have flying in there, flush it out. You know, flush it out. Because one of the things that I've personally learned is that my head was stopping me from doing a lot of really cool stuff. Right? So just flush that minutia out, because it serves you no purpose. Okay? And, you know, you're probably saying, well, you know, it's like I've got a lot of stuff going on. My kids, my husband, my wife, my cat, my dog. The teddy bear gets out of whack sometimes too. So Martha Cervantes, you just don't even understand the half of everything I've got going on. Well, my friends, I actually do, because I had a lot of it going on in my head. I really did. There were times that my head just felt like it was going to explode. You know, like I had so much in there. And it's kind of funny because, oh gosh, what is it, about a couple of months ago, I just, you know, again, we're human, so we've got life going on. So a couple of months ago, you know, I was at one of my training sessions with my trainer, and then she just looks at me and she says, hey, are you okay? You know, because sometimes I tend to get a little bit quiet, and you guys probably don't believe that, but I do. I you know, can get a little bit introverted, and I was just kind of like in my, I don't know, I was in my head a little bit. So she looks at me, she's like, hey, it looks like you have a lot of, oh, we lost earrings. It seems like you have a lot of tabs in your head open. You know, and it was just kind of such a funny reference to me. That's what she alluded to, that's what she referenced them as. My thoughts, a lot of tabs. Kind of like on your computer, right? You have a lot of pages open, right? A lot of screens open. So she's like, you got a lot of tabs open in your head right now, don't you? And I actually did. I had so many freaking tabs in my head that I think Avery Dennison was running out of, the tab dividers, because I had so many in my head. So you know what? Again, if I can teach you anything, or maybe even get you to think about it, it's just close all those tabs. One of the things that I've really, really worked on is, again, making those small adjustments, because those small adjustments make such a huge difference. So I've just really worked on, like, really controlling my personal energy. Okay, I'm all about that energy and just everything that goes along with it. So what do I mean by controlling my personal energy? And again, please, I've been taught everything I talk about. I've been taught, and I guess you could say I'm a little bit of a deep thinker. So in conjunction with being taught, I also, a lot of this is just, I guess, internal, right? But just close out those tabs, right? Close them out. And how do you do it? Again, I'm all about controlling my personal energy. And what do I mean by that? You know what? One of the things that I really work on, you guys, I was actually talking to my loan officer, I think like a couple of weeks ago. And she, it's kind of funny because, there's, I have dinner every so often with different people. Not often because, in real estate, we got to stay focused, and the appointments we go on are dinner appointments with our clients, so we can make sure that, that they know that, we just didn't sell them a house and left, right? But the way I look at energy is like every day, every one of you guys that's hanging out with me right now, every day you wake up with a full tank of gas, right? You're like a car. We're like a car. So we're like a car. Every day you wake up with that full tank of gas. So you leave your house and you've got that full tank of gas. So now it's up to you. Where are you going to expend that gas? What is deserving of the gas, your energy? Where are you going to spend your energy at? Okay, so for me, about, I don't know, maybe at the beginning of the year, I really learned a really, really big lesson. I think it was the beginning of the year. Okay, I was working, with this particular, I was representing the buyer, and like the agent on the other side, oh my God, she was a handful. Like, OMG, she was like a stinking handful, right? It was just, she just was a handful. She was, the buyer ended up, after doing their inspections, and we got, as when you work, you got 17 days to do your inspections. We did them like literally within week 1. So the seller, said, hey, you know what, I'm not really liking the vibes in the neighborhood. I came out here on the weekend and I just wasn't feeling it. So he decided not to move forward with the purchase. So the agent was she was really upset, right? And again, we did everything within like the first 5 days. So she was really upset that he didn't want the house. So, she held on to his deposit for like over a month, right? Because she was just being spiteful and extremely unprofessional, right? So it gives you like the scenario. So, I went back and forth with her, sent emails and stuff, and then finally I had it. I had it. And so I sat there and I typed probably like a good 5-6 lines right on my computer. And then, you know what, at that moment in time, literally at that moment in time, I was like, well, Martha, you know how you feel after like an engagement like that. You know how your energy just gets like really super funky. Are you really gonna let this person control your energy? Are you gonna let her deplete your gas tank? Because you know how you feel like when you have certain engagements, it completely just throws you off, right? So at that moment, guys, I literally had, typed like, probably about 6 lines. At that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this person, do that to my gas tank. I'm not going to let them steal my gas, right? So that's, that's how I really look at my energy. I wake up with a certain amount every day, and it's up to me completely where I invest my gas. Okay, so that's like number one, to control your mindset a lot more. It's like, where are you going to invest your gas at? Okay, who gets, part of your gas during the day? Whether it's good or bad, it's completely up to you. Who gets part of, that gas tank that you woke up in the morning with? Who are you going to give it to? Okay, whether it's good or bad, it's your choice. Okay, so control that. Don't just, give your energy, your gas tank freely to every situation that comes across you. What's that saying? I don't know exactly, but it's like there's a lot of battles, but who wins the war, right? There's a lot of battles, but who wins the war at the end of the day? Okay, so you need to win the war at the end of the day. We need to win the war at the end of the day by conserving our gas, right? Conserving our energy, because then, our families, they get us at the end of the day. And, okay, do we come in like a cat all tatted up and all like, like somebody, just kind of like, they just like, like the cat got in a fight with the dog and just totally, like a missing ear, missing fur, and here we go, here we are. And is that how we show up to our family? I'm guilty of it. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes. It's like, sometimes it's like I've had all I could take and I just kind of shut down. So, again, it's like, that's one of the things that I've really, really worked on, which is just managing my energy and who gets my energy. So that's all for your mindset, and then the other one is, I write my gratitudes. Usually my morning crew knows what my morning routine is. I'll do like my affirmations. I write gratitudes. And you know what? I find a lot of joy in writing my gratitudes. It's been a discipline that I was taught by my coach, right? So I write 5 gratitudes in the morning. I write 5 gratitudes in the morning, and I'm really thoughtful about them. If somebody's going to read my gratitudes, I want to make sure that I deliver. So I'm very thoughtful about my gratitudes that I send out. So I'll give you one. Let me think of one that I wrote this morning. So it had been, I think, about 2 months since I had actually taken like a day off, right? It had been about 2 months since I'd actually taken a day off. And so I took this weekend off, actually. All right, I took this weekend off, and you know what? I worked out a ton. Like, literally, that's what I did. I worked out. I had, brunch with somebody I love. I had dinner with somebody I love. And then, what did I do Sunday? I had a workout session with my trainer, and then after that, I went hiking. So part of my gratitude was, when I was out hiking, it was just, I sat up on, like, literally, like, on the top of a rock, kind of like off from the trail, and I just sat there and I actually meditated, I meditated, and I meditated I've been increasing my meditation time. Before I was doing like 10 minutes, and now I'm doing like 20 minutes at a time, and then during the day I'll do maybe like another like 10 minutes, and when I get ready to go to sleep I'll do 10 more minutes, right? But my gratitude was that, I was so grateful to be able to experience that, to be sitting up at the top of the mountain, and looking at my surroundings, and just looking at it from kind of like the eagles do, like from like a bird's eye view. And after I finished meditating, I just sat there and I just literally just took it all in, and I was just very present in that moment. So that was one of my gratitudes, right? So that's, another practice that I do so I can keep my head straight, keep my mindset straight, even when, stuff goes a little haywire. So, there's other stuff I do, but not to bore you too much. But, if you're working on getting your head straight, start doing, and I'm still working on it. You know what? I'm like really coming to terms with that word, self-care. Self-care. I've always been such a grinder, right? Like, I grind really, really hard every day. And I've been like that as far as I can remember, right? So self-care to me was like, it was just like a fad word. You know, it was just like a new age word. I didn't know what the heck that meant. Self-care. Made sure I walked out and I put my shoes on in the morning and my pants on. That's self-care, right? But now I'm actually coming to terms with what it really means, which is really, you know, taking care of yourself on different levels. You know, I'm still working on, you know, going to get massages and stuff, but now, you know, I work out a lot, and that's part of my self-care. You know, I've been investing in my body, and I've been investing in my mind, and, you know, for me, that's like self-care, right? That's what's working for me right now. And that's how I, you know, like people, like some of the private messages that I get, first of all, people ask me, you know, where do you get so much stuff to talk about? I don't know, I'm just like a freaking, what do you call it, encyclopedia. I don't know, it's just maybe a gift, right? And you know what, more than anything, it's like I'm learning a lot right now, and I'm really excited about it, right? So I like to share some of this stuff because, you know, again, some of you guys will send me messages and ask me about, like, you know, like how to write gratitudes, right? So, you know, sometimes, not too often, I may share them because, you know, they're kind of, you know, I don't know, they're kind of personal to me, right? There's only, you know, pretty much one person that gets to read them every day. Or you guys will ask me how I finally decided to commit to working out. And what else do you guys ask me? Oh gosh, you guys ask a lot of questions actually, which is kind of cool. So that's what I was thinking about earlier. It's just, you know, it's all the small adjustments that we make, right? It's all those small adjustments that we make during the day, and, you know, they start compounding, right? For me, you know, I see, you know, I'm at a red light, so I can kind of peek really quick. I see a lot of you guys hanging out with me right now. I've lost like 40 pounds, guys, and it's not to impress you at all. It's not. It's just to, you know, again, it's like whether I had started back in February or whether, you know, I just chose not to, it's like time would have still passed me by. But, you know, for me, and this is like not like, hey, we're all at a different headspace in our life, right? So this isn't like, you know, you should be in my headspace, which is working out, doing this. No, this is just, I'm just sharing, you know, where my headspace is at. So because I decided that's what I wanted to do, you know, time still passed, right? And in the process, because I've been really committed to it, I've lost like 40 pounds. And we're still, you know, we're still working on a bit more, because I want to, you know, and really, it's not about like the weight for me. It's just, for me, it's just truly feeling healthy for me. Do I have like a weight in mind? That's a good question. Do I have a weight in mind that I want to be? No, not necessarily, to be really honest. I just want my body to be a certain way. Yeah, I think that's the best and most honest answer I can give. I just want my body to be at a particular place. Not so much weight, but just, you know, I'll tell you what I'm working on. I'm working on toning my arms. Working on a lot of freaking sit-ups. I don't know how many I do. I should probably count, right? So, like a week, I'm probably doing a week. How many am I doing? I work out 6 days a week. So let's say minimum I do 100 every workout. So that's minimum, but okay, so I'm trying to do my math. So like a week I'm doing, how many am I doing? Let's see. So a week I'm doing close to 800 sit-ups a week, right? Because that's, you know, for me, that's where I had, you know, I gained you know, I don't know if it's for all women, but that's where I was kind of gaining, I had some of the weight to lose, right? So it's kind of cool because, you know, it's like, I was telling my trainer this morning that you know, it's like when I'm getting dressed and stuff, you know, it's just kind of cool. And I'm sure you guys have experienced it as well when you're working out. right? And you're changing different habits about what you're doing in terms of maybe your diet, you see the difference. And it's kind of cool because I'm seeing the difference. You know, those sit-ups, you know, they still have a ways. Do we have a washboard stomach yet? Nope, not at all. It's still like a lot of work in progress. But I see like such a huge difference. You know, like I'm fitting into clothes that I thought, you know, the Goodwill was going to be getting, because, you know, I was like, man, that's, whomever wore that clothes, they were a looker. They had a hot looking body. But, you know, it's kind of cool because I'm fitting into clothes that, you know, I had gotten rid of like a ton of clothes, but, you know, there was like a couple of outfits, you know, that I just really liked. So I kept them, and they fit, you know. So again, it's really about the small adjustments, whether we make them in our head, our body, our eating. You know, they add up. They truly add up. They add up every day. You know, so make those small adjustments, because you're gonna, you know, your body, your mind, your family's gonna thank you for it. And I share this with you because I think, you know, we're all at different points in time in our life, right? We truly are. Like, could I have had this conversation with you guys, let's say maybe 3 years ago? No, not at all, right? Because I wasn't exposed, or my mind wasn't wrapped around doing any of this, right? So I couldn't have like taught or shared any of this with you guys because I didn't know about it. So, you know, that's kind of like, you know, I think we need to teach each other stuff, right? Because we need to teach each other stuff because we've got such a wide reach now. Right, we've got such a wide reach in terms of like the people that we can touch. Like just off the top of my head, Rick is in Nevada. Mio, I think, is in Sacramento. I've got some people here from the East Coast, like New York, like a lot from the East Coast. You know, so it's like we've got such a wide reach. So I'm a firm believer is that whatever you learn that's making an impact on you, I think you need to share it. You know, you need to share it because there's times where, you know, it's like I may be kind of like down in the gutter for whatever reason. We all go through life, right? And like I listen to a lot of stuff like on YouTube, Facebook, you know, a podcast. So sometimes we need that little bit of inspiration, right? So that's why I say, if you know something, teach it, right? Teach it, because we all have to, you know, truly, you know, it may sound a little coy, not even coy, a little corny, right? But we got to leave the world a better place, because, you know, I always say, you know, it's like we're not getting out of this thing called life alive, and we're all on a similar journey, right? We're on a similar journey. So we just need to, you know, to make a difference in each other's lives. And that's why, you know, I share some of this stuff, because a lot of people are making a difference in me. You know, a lot of people are teaching me different ways to think, and as a result, I really feel like I'm in one of the best places of my life, you know, because I've been open to learning from a lot of you guys that hang out with me, you know, and it really does make all the difference. Like, who are you hanging out with? Okay, so like I'm like really super guarded in terms of who I spend time with. Okay, and what do I mean by that? It's like, let's say if you've got like a friend that is just like total negative Nelly, right? And it's like, man, it's like after you hang out with negative Nelly, you want to jump off of your bed. You're like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. And like the highest place you found was like your bed, because you know you're going to land on pillows, right? So I really guard that space. Like, I just want people, you know, that, you know, bring like a positive value into my life, right? And, you know, a lot of you guys do, you know, we've engaged in different ways. So just really pick your company really close. You know, it doesn't mean that you love Nelly any less. It just means you're going to give Nelly a little bit of time to decompress on her own, do some meditating, right? Make those small adjustments, right? So when she hangs out with you, you guys are vibing together. So, you know, again, I just, a lot of the people, or not even a lot of them, all the people I hang out, they've got this cool, positive energy vibe about them. And, you know, surround yourself by those people, because those are the people that are going to inspire you. And those are the people that when you're maybe a little bit, you know, down, you know, in the gutter for whatever reason, because we, you know, again, we're human. We're human. And a lot of us on this page are business people, right? We're teachers. You know, I've got teachers in here too, that, you know, teachers, you guys are doing God's work on earth here. You guys truly are. So hang out with people that inspire you and make a difference, you know, and clear out the minutia, right? Be more grateful. Close those tabs in your head up, you know, do a little bit of meditating, right? Afterwards, I'm going to post some of the stuff that, you know, like that I listen to in the morning. Right, just so you guys, you know, if you guys are interested, I've posted on a private Facebook page, and like the people were like, wow, that was really cool. So it's just really what keeps, you know, this empire together, you know. Work out. If you've been thinking about it, you know, start working out. You know, and it's always about the little things that you do. Hey, pop in, I do like a Facebook Live with my trainer on Sundays, right? We're trying to manage the time, but sometimes I think we've been going a little bit longer. But I do a Facebook Live with my trainer on Sundays right after our workout. And like this past weekend, we talked about nutrition. She's the one that, you know, she knows this, and she's a resource that I decided I wanted to share with you guys. Right? So pop in. It's Sundays at 7:30 right after our workout. So check her out. It's on my private Facebook. Let's see, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about this week. She comes up with the topic. But, you know, some of you guys were asking about, I got some private messages about, what was it, like the keto diet, like the carnivore diet, all these different diets. Maybe, you know, I'll ask her to kind of talk about that, because you guys have, some of you guys have been curious about it. You know, I've never ever been like that person that can diet. It's just not, you know, how I'm put together, because I just I don't eat junk food, but I don't know, it's just I can't wrap my, because you know what, I think actually it's like, to me, diets, what they mean is that I'm limiting myself, right? I am depriving myself of something that I want, right? So like, I just, you know, I'm at a place where I've actually been able to maintain my eating habits, and I don't feel like kind of funky about them. You know, I don't feel funky about them. So I just, you know, again, turkey, chicken, and fish, pretty easy. Salad. And I don't know if you guys knew this. I learned this from her over the weekend. Pumpkin seeds. Okay, so have snacks in your car. Pumpkin seeds here. Okay, they're raw, not salted or anything. So I'm gonna stop by and see who's hanging out. Okay, hey David, how are you, my friend? Jonathan Chi, Saturday night date. Isa, how are you? Rini, how are you, my friend? Elsie, what's going on? Eva, how are you? The neck is still a little funky, Eva. Remember I told you about that? It still kind of hurts right here. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to go still get a massage. It's still funky. Paris, what's going on? Hey, you just got back from, I think it was an anniversary, right? With your husband of 20 years? Maybe I'm close. Jonathan Berg, how are you? Andrea, how are you, sister? Christine, how are you? I talked to you one time. You called me, you messaged me, and we chatted for a couple of minutes. Karen, how are you, beautiful? Charles, what's going on? Juan, how's your beautiful family? You have a gorgeous family. Danielle Parks, so, yep, your team beat our Dodgers. It just wasn't pretty, wasn't nice. Chio, how are you? Ollie and my friend Mel. Tyler, how are you, handsome? You're rocking it out. I know you are. I see your videos. I love your videos. Hey, Tyler, check out Tyler's videos. They're so stinking hilarious and very informative. Tyler Kane Whitman, just an awesome guy. Roberta, how are you, my friend? Rick, you were out with your lady. Well, I won't even say this. You're like last weekend, but you're always out on some vacation. I want to be you. When I grow up, I want to be you, Rick. You're always on vacation. I wish I could be you. See, that's why I gotta be you. You go on so many cool vacations, and I love seeing your posts with your wife. David, how are you, my friend? I think you're a coach, right? I think you're a coach, my friend. Mio, I see you. Jessica, hey, I know you just had your baby shower. Best of luck in raising that gorgeous baby that you're about to have. Roberta, let's see. Raul, how are you? What's going on out there? So, Margie, how are you? So yeah, that's what I was just, it's just different thoughts I have during the day, and those two were, just make those small adjustments. Again, I see that when I'm working out and my trainer says, hey, do it this way. And as soon as I do it the way she says, totally different result. And then she'll tell me, like, if you do it this way, it'll target this, okay? And if you don't do it right, it's just, it's not going to work out the muscle that we're looking for. And with my business coach, again, it's the small adjustments. Like, if I'm not making my contacts, or if I'm not, like I have a certain amount of hours that I'm committed to calling my clients, or, different people that may be wanting to buy a home, I'm committed to that. So let's say if I fall off the wagon, she can tell right away, and she knows I didn't make those small adjustments that would get me to the next space. Okay, so make those small adjustments, whatever they may be in your life. Alrighty, go make them, because they do make a difference. They do make a difference. I made them, and my pants are fitting better. So I'm walking proof that if you make those small adjustments, your pants will fit better. Have a good evening. Be safe. Chat with you later.